Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 18 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series, where I moved everything that I had over here, over to here. And I'm just testing it, but it seems to be working, because I got 16 glass, we're shortly going to have 16 sand, and then once that 16th sand goes in, boom, you're cool, and now you're going to make gravel. We'll get up to 16 gravel. Not too shabby, right? I think it's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with this setup. I think it's neat. That's just me personally. Now, what I would also like to do, if I may be so bold, is to set up a little bit of a cobble gem that feeds into here. And I was thinking I could do that with a timer turret. And this one should be pretty easy, right? All he really needs to do, he's gonna run every second, and I'm gonna have him touch break block. And all we need to do is have cobble in front of this guy, and then we should be cool, right? So all we really need is lava block here, water source block there, and we'd be good. Give that a go. Now, is this all chunk loaded? I think so. Yeah, you all seem to be within a chunk, so you're good, actually. Okay, let me get another bucket. And you may have noticed some functional storage going on. We'll talk about that in a second. Beautiful. So, what I'd like to have is, if these are going to be hidden in this room, I want the blocks that you're making to be easily accessible. So this is cobble, gravel, sand, and glass. And for some reason, it's not rendering, but flint. I think it's because the forge lighting experimental thing is not enabled, but we'll see. So in theory, I should be able to do this, this, and that. And that should be cool. And there's your little cobble gem. Okay? And then we just need a touch break. And then we do this, and then we do that, and then we do this. And I'm probably going to make you run every 2 seconds. Well, we could try one. We'll see what happens. Oh, right, and then we want pickup too, don't we? Yeah, I forgot we would probably want pickup. So touch, break, item pickup. He's a little too fast. That's cool. That works, right? And he's going to go in here. And then what I could do is I could disable him. I feel like I'm going to need one more node for this. Low on iron. I was smelting some before I left. Do we have anything that's irony? Junk. Can you be like... No. Let me go get a piece of iron real quick. I literally need one iron just to do this. The way it goes sometimes. I think my iron mine is somewhere... Where was I mining iron at? I don't even know. Is it? Is this where you get iron? Probably. There's some iron. And you, please. I need to mine. I'm low on iron, I'm low on redstone. I'm low on a few things, if I'm being completely honest. I'm low on a lot of things, if I'm being completely honest. But, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. One more laser doohickey. Hopefully I've got the cards for this setup, but I'm pretty sure I should be cool. Alright, so you've probably got a decent amount of cobble in you at this point, right? Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you up so that you're linked to this guy. And on the down, we're going to sense cobblestone, but make it like a stack. And then you're going to emit on channel 5, which is yellow, and then you will output channel 5, which is yellow. Oh, not exact mode. Exact mode. So if you have 64 cobble, you should be picking that up. Down. Oh, you're on the wrong channel. There's your problem. Now we're cool. Excellent. Okay, cool. All right. So now I want to do a couple more things. So on the down, I would like to extract 8 items at a time on white. And I would like you to be connected to here, which will insert on white. So what you should start doing is filling up with cobble. See the cobble number going up there? And then once we get to a low point, he's going to do that thing. Okay. Now, why are you shooting? You shouldn't be shooting. Because you should be stopped from this redstone signal. Why indeed are you shooting? Oh, because you're toggling between those. Ew. It's going to be a little bit of a problem for me, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to have to figure that one out, aren't I? Yes. Yes, I am. So what we could do I'm gonna have to think about this one for a sec. The problem is you're causing you to toggle because you're making cobble and then losing cobble. And that's constantly firing the spell. Alright, got a solution. What I'll do is I'll use a laser IO node here, and he'll act as an intermediary. So he can input there. So he'll trigger as both. So he'll output to the up. He'll input here, and then on the same color channel, we'll do this. So that either an empty chest or an existing cobble block will cause that to happen, right? Now here's the question. If I remove this, he's not firing until he has a buffer of cobble. If I remove the extract card here, then he'll be allowed to place his cobble. And then he'll be good. Cool. All right. That works, right? I think that works. And then that'll keep that running. Okay, that works for me. That works really well, actually. Yep, that's pretty slick. Okay. So now we're cool. So now we're producing a bunch of cobble, and then once the cobble fills up, the other ones will be allowed to fill up. I like it. Now all we have to do is set on the down, extract 8 items at a time on white, and link you here. And you'll notice one of the things I did is I made it so that each of these has their own color for the sensors, because now these are all linked together, or they will be once I set you to extract 8 items at a time. And then on the down here will be extract 8 items at a time. You don't need an overclocker card or anything like that. Okay? So now you're going to fill up with glass, and I think everything will go to 512. Yeah, 512 is the number, right? So everything will go to 512, and then they'll backstuff their respective chests, and then they'll be cool. So see how everything's kind of working out? I think this is neat. I think this is super neat. I like this a lot, actually. This is cool. Let's see how our source is holding up, though. Not bad. 74% full on the buffer chest, which is pretty good. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Is my magnet on? No. Okay. Mycelial may be able to pick those up. I don't really know. But the point is, we're good. Okay. This is cool. I think this is pretty well automated, to be honest with you. Could it be faster? Yes. Absolutely. Like, there's no question. Like, if I really wanted this to be a good speed, what I would do is probably have one placer and one breaker for each material. So we would have a placer and a breaker for gravel, a placer and a breaker for sand, and a placer and a breaker for glass. But this felt like more of an automation challenge to me, so I kind of wanted to challenge myself to see how well I could do it, and I think it worked out pretty well. But yeah, that's cool. All right, so that I'm going to call good to go. If I just leave this alone, we should eventually fill up with 512 of each, if I did everything right. I'm sure there's a mistake I made somewhere. And then you actually seem like you might be getting more mana than you're using at the moment. Now, in fairness, we're not actually processing anything yet. We're only doing the lava cobble gen stuff. So we'll have to see what happens once we start getting into glass production, because glass is going to be a much more source expensive spell. So we'll see. Oh, and as a quick note, I definitely put a void upgrade on this guy so that he'll void any flint that gets created. But these guys don't have a void upgrade because we want that to backstop to 512. We don't want it voiding things. Everything in there should stop running once backstopping occurs. Oh, and speaking of things that are running really well, look at this bad boy. We got a lot of junk in here, don't we? We got ender pearls for days, we've got blaze rods for days, we've got food for days, and we've got a lot of experience gems. Not to mention wool and bone and feather, like all the stuff that I would have wanted to have a lot of. We're doing pretty good there. Now, one thing I'm curious about are these experience gems, which, by the way, I should do something with this and functional storage at some point. We can get there. But I'm curious how much experience I get if I store them all from one stack of gems. A stack of gems is 11 levels. That is not bad. That is not bad at all. Because now I feel like it might be a good idea to get into what I'm calling another magic mod. Apotheosis. Apotheosis can get me some really powerful enchants. And I think that would be cool. I think that would be super cool. Because there's a few things I'm thinking. I'd like to combine Apotheosis with Ars Nouveau and get a few things. So first off, I can enchant my armor. Okay? So that would be cool. And I can put some good enchants on there. But then in addition to that, what I'd like to do... so a few things, right? Let's look at what we can do with enchanting in Ars Nouveau. So one thing I'd like to check out and use is... What's it under? Magical equipment? Yeah, Enchanter's Bow. A bow that can be inscribed with a spell using Scribe Sable. If the player has enough mana, arrows will become spell arrows and will apply the spell on their target. If no arrows are in the inventory, a spell arrow that deals 0 damage will be cast. If there is not enough mana, regular arrows will be fired. Enchanter bows may use special augment arrows for empowering the inscribed spell. Ooh, you don't say. What's an augment arrow? Special augment arrows? From ours? Ooh, here we go. Augment spells when used in a pierce ×2, split ×2, amplify ×2. Well, that sounds neat. And we get a stack. We get half a stack of those per craft. That's pretty awesome. Arrow, diamond, air essence, and source walk. That's not bad. That could be pretty neat. So I wouldn't mind having something like a really crazy high level of power, like power 9, right? But in order to do that, we have to get into Apotheosis, right? You can also get enchanting with source and mana. Enchanting. Basically, you can get looting, for example, or you can get power, for example. You can get, power 5 like this. So enchanting, how to enchant. To add new enchants or upgrade existing ones by using mana and items. To begin, select a level 1 enchant and add its items to the pedestals. Place a jar of mana nearby and the item you want to enchant on the apparatus. The apparatus may only apply enchants that are valid to the item you have given it. To apply a level 2 or higher enchant, the item must already have the previous level. For example, to apply Smite 3, it has to already have had Smite 2. Okay? So that's one approach. So I'd like to do that. How are we doing on mana here? A little bit of a loss, but that's okay. Did we get to the point where we're still doing Cobble, believe it or not. So, we'll be alright. It's all fully passive generation, and if we get desperate, we can always throw more things in here. But overall, yeah, not bad. So let me think about that. Now, what about removing enchants and implying them without losing the book? Usually I go the Britannia route for that, but we don't have Britannia in the pack yet. Yeah. Oh, and not for nothing, 100%, like, we're not going to be able to do this up to level 9 of power, right? If we wanted power, where was it? Power, we can get up to level 5, which is what vanilla goes up to. But if we want Apotheosis up to level 9, we're going to have to go through Apotheosis enchant approach. Hey, we're actually coming along pretty good here. Look, we've almost got 435 glass. Nice. So our Cobble did stop at 512, and now we're making glass. How's my mana doing? Oh, we've seen better days. But it's not surprising to me that we're getting low on mana, because the glass is the most expensive spell. And once we handle this, what should happen is we'll be all right. We'll be all right. Because what'll happen is it'll eventually rebuild its buffer. And just like I said before, if I wanted to, I could throw... I thought I had more of those gobber things in here. I may not. I really need to mine anyway, so I should consider that. But you only work with charcoal, don't you? And I think I'm even low on oak. Yeah. We got vexing arc wood. That'll smelt into charcoal, I'm sure. For me. Could use a little bit of power. Can you power? No, but I'm pretty sure my magnet can. If it had more, if it had more of an internal buffer, it could. That's the lesson there. Can you act as a magnet? No, you can't drain either. That's all right. Can you drain? Nope. That should be enough. Okay. So you turn into this. Then you turn into that. And that should be a healthy amount of these guys if we need to keep things going. All right, so here's what I want to do. I want to start on Apotheosis today. So first off, I will help you keep running by doing that. And the whole timer system should work out pretty good. Though, in fairness, I could see you being a problem right now. What I might want to do is have you be earlier on in the process. So if I made you something like here, that should work, right? I'll have to see. Yeah, because now that we're like passively generating, it's going to be a little bit of a problem, maybe. Because you're generating mana quicker than, you know. We'll see. Also, you seem to be sending your mana over to there, which I guess isn't the end of the world. But we'll figure it out. Alright, I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'll probably set you back to the way you were, because I think you probably want that. Even though you seem to be okay. How about we set you continue at current step? So that way, if he gets a redstone signal, right, he will see it turned off for a sec, but now it continues at current step. So it'll now continue to guarantee he'll only get one every 20 or so seconds. That's the way. That should work. That should work. So these bursts of mana coming from here only pause it for a sec. Which is fine, because it means you'll just delay it a little bit longer. This works for me. I think this is cool. Is there a way to make it so that you have to send your mana to this guy? Because that would probably be nice. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move this. And put him here. Sorry, minor tweaks to the design from changes that have occurred. So then you can be here to here, here to here. And that should be cool. And then you're going to feed that thing. And then I just need you facing this way and that way. And this way and that way. That should be cool. So now you're preventing that from running. You're going to feed into here. You're going to feed into here. And that should be good. Oh, and then you sending to one location? Wrong. Taking from one location. So you'll spread to all them. And then once you get empty, you'll be allowed to tick again. And that'll be what's up. And now that you're allowed to tick again, when you get to step 7-ish is when you'll emit a redstone signal. Or turn off the redstone signal. See? And then it'll be allowed to consume, and then he'll start running again from this. Cool. That works for me. And that just pauses it. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That should be good. Okay, cool. Now with all that said, let's get into Apotheosis. So where should I do Apotheosis? Probably in my main basement. Apotheosis down here would be cool. So all we need is an enchanting table. Okay. So we'll need a book and an enchanting table. And we do the regular old normal enchanting setup, right? So we're going to need many books. Okay. Which means many of these. So what do we need? Is it 15? So we'll need like 45-ish books. And I'm like, oh no, I'm out of leather. But I'm not. But I'm not out of leather because I've got like infinity leather going on over here. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Okay. So close. And then 2 more. Perfect. And now I can get bookshelves, which again, I mentioned I was low on oak, so that might be a problem for me. A little bit. A little bit. Let's set up, what do we got here? I wonder if I could do something cool with a tree farm with this stuff. Because there's a spell in tier 2, Fell. Harvest entire trees, mushrooms, cactus, and other vegetation. Can be amplified with Amplify to break materials of higher hardness. AoE will increase the number of blocks that may be broken at one time. Alright, so Fell would be cool. Fell would be cool. I have an idea. I want to try this. Let me get a spell turret. Spell turret. Gonna need some redstone. Boy, I hope I have enough. I think that was the last of my redstone, if I'm being honest with you guys. And then Fell requires a earth essence and a diamond pickaxe. Well, that's like a fancy diamond pickaxe or a diamond axe. How am I for experience? Fell requires 5 levels. And I think we got some earth essence back there, right? I want fell. You get that, and I should have some earth essence available. Sweet. And we already have AoE, so that's good. Unlocked fell. So here's a question for you. I'm going to sleep through this night. Can I set up a spell turret that will place a sapling? And then, so what I would need is a chest of some kind. We need some saplings. Oh, and I need to make my spell. So this, I hope I don't have to run back and forth too much for this. But if I do, then I'll, you know, figure it out. But what I probably want then would be touch, place item, or place block, right? And then grow, and then fell with a couple AoEs. And hopefully that'll, like, be enough grows to almost guarantee the growth of the sapling. And if it's not, then the subsequent button press should. Yeah? What do we think? Does that sound fun? Let's try it. I have no idea if it'll work, but we're testing. Do I have any buttons in here? I do. All right. So then, and, oh, right. I need a source jar. I have a few. That's kind of cool. That's kind of neat. Maybe I want a few, because that's using a lot of mana. Now, granted, I could enchant that. Why don't I enchant that spell turret and maybe do a little less grow? Because I don't know how many grows. I don't know if all those grows are working or helping. And I wonder if Amplify works on grow. Can Amplify work on grow? That's a question. That's a very good question. So it's 4 of these, right? To get the source block. And then 2 blaze rods, wasn't it? And that'll get me the enchanted doohickey. Hope I'm remembering this recipe correctly. Looks like I did. Sweet. We hit 512 on the glass. That's cool. And you actually, looks like you did a good job over here. That's cool. And remember, if we have a little bit of source in here, that'll keep filling up, and it'll keep supplementing. This only comes into play when we get really low. And it looks like it's working. So that's your enchanted spell turret. Let's get, let me get one more version of this with less grow. So first off, can Amplify work on grow? No, just AoE. Amplify cannot be modifying for grow. So we'll place the block and we'll grow once. And then we'll fell. And then we'll AoE a couple times to make sure it gets the whole tree. In case it grows like a really tall tree is what I'm worried about. Oh, and I am a derp. I forgot to get a parchment of that. So we could, by the way, totally automate this, right? Into a tree farm. And I want this to be on a second parchment. Right? So this will be 1 grow. This will be grow times 5. We would just need to get some mana up here. But we could totally tree farm this. That ain't bad. That's pretty cool. And you can see it's definitely, I think it is. It's working pretty good. You know, just the chance of growth is, you know, a little Minecraft RNG. But it's not terrible. That could be fun. And remember, we can feed some of that wood into a pedestal to generate swords. Don't forget about that. You guys all go away. I'll put away my spell parchments for the time being as well, and we'll get some oak bookshelves. That should be good. Okay, so you should be Eterna 15 out of 50, Quanta 15, Rectification 0, Enchanting Clues 1, and if I were to go throw something in there that can be enchanted, we can get up to level 30. So, reminder, Apotheosis, right? Completely changes the way enchanting works. Oh look, it gives me a fortune too. That's nice. View all available enchants. Oh, that's fancy. I like that. I like that a lot. And then this is your current power level. And then if we, you know, bump it up to 35. Okay, interesting, interesting. That's neat. That's neat. I like that. All right, so remember, Apotheosis changes the way enchanting works. There's 3 traits that you care about. Eterna is basically the available enchantment levels. So this is like your vanilla enchanting mechanic, right? The higher the Eterna, the higher the levels can go. And as you can see, I'm currently at 15 out of 50. So if you want to get like the really good enchants, you're going to need to get some really high mana. We're going to need lots of experience for this too if we want like the crazy level enchantments. We'll get there. Maybe, if we're lucky, right? That's interesting. Enchanting at level 1 for all 3 of those? Why would that be? Is the Gobber Sword some kind of weird enchanter thingy? I don't know. Beats me. So you can get up to level 30. Why can't my sword go up to level 30? Limited enchantability. Interesting. Interesting. Item enchantability is 0. Huh. That's cool. Does Silent Gear not let you enchant the tools? I thought you could enchant Silent Gear. I'm not sure. So anyway, then you have Quanta, which modulates the power range. That's like a randomization, I think, of it. So like you'll maybe get higher, maybe get lower with the higher Quanta. It's like a chaotic kind of upgrade. But if you have Rectification on there, you'll be less likely to get negative effects. And then Arcana makes rare enchantments more common and increases the number of enchants. So, for example, if we put this back in there and we looked at this, we would see, you know, teleportation is rare. Silk Touch is very rare. Efficiency is common. So you have like a 25% chance of getting efficiency. You have like a 2.5% chance of getting Silk Touch. And the same for Fortune is 5%. So, you know, pretty rare. If you have a higher Arcana level, it will make it so that it'll like reverse those, right? It'll make it so that rare enchants are more common. So it'll make it so that you have a better chance of getting something like Silk Touch. And there's all kinds of bookshelves from Apotheosis that will affect these stats. So, for example, one of the first ones we're going to want to get is the Hell Shelf, which will bring our Eterna. So with bookshelves, right, which we currently have on here, we can see that our Eterna is +1 per bookshelf, up to a max of 15. So it's Eterna times 2 determines the level you can get. So 15 times 2 is 30. We have 15 Eterna. We can get up to level 30. I think that's accurate. So Apotheosis bookshelves. Okay. The first one you'll want to get is the Hell Shelf, which is nether bricks with the bookshelf. Looks like you need a potion of regeneration. Really? I don't remember it being that tricky. I don't remember needing regen potions, but I guess you do. And blaze rods. And then there's infused Hell Shelf, which you take a Hell Shelf and you enchant it, and you'll get a higher tier. There's blazing, which requires an infused, and glowing, which requires an infused. And each of these have different stats. So basic Hell Shelf is plus 1.5 Eterna, but only up to a max of 22.5. So you can't get any higher than that with Hell Shelves. Infused Hell Shelves bring you up to 27. Blazing Hell Shelves bring you up to 30 with Eterna, and you get plus 4 Eterna per. But notice you're also getting some Quanta, and you're losing enchanting cues on this one. Over here, you'll get some Arcana, but not as much Eterna. So it's kind of like a balancing act. You have to figure out like a good combination of shelves to put together, right, to get to where you want to get. And then you need end shelves. Draconic end shelves get you +5 Eterna up to a max of 50. So what you can do is you can get up to like 40 with regular end shelves, and then throw down 2 Draconic end shelves and get yourself up to 50, right? And your shelves can go all the way around. So we can have, you know, a couple more in the front here and more on the sides. So we'll probably be figuring out shelves and all that stuff over the course of the next couple episodes. So let's wrap up the episode here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start prepping for Apotheosis. So we're going to need some potions of regeneration. So I'm going to need some gas tiers. That's not going to be fun to collect, is it? No, it's not. It's not going to be fun at all. Yeah, it's going to be super not fun. Statue. I wonder if I could capture a ghast and get him into that little room. Could be fun. Could be dangerous. Could be fun. Right? I'm going to try and capture a ghast. We'll see about that next episode. It might be extremely dangerous. What we'll do is we'll come back next time, get some gas tiers, get ready to start making health shelves, and then start working our way up in Apotheosis. We're going to need lots of experience, though. So another thing I might do is make my dudes downstairs in the area way more happy. So let's see, Drigmes, is that what I got? Yeah, happiness, production. The henge will generate items and experience gems and deposit in the nearby inventories. Happiness. Your Drigmes efficiency is dependent on its happiness. This may increase for each entity nearby with a bonus for each unique type in its home. Yeah. So I think the happier, the more entities, especially the more unique entities we have nearby, the better for him. So even some mobs that I don't super care about their drops from, I'm going to go collect in containment jars and get them hooked up. But for now, let's wrap it up. So I'm going to do that between episodes. We're going to wrap up here, and then we'll come back next time to do all this Apotheosis stuff. For now, Del20 sign off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.